present you with our Featured Speaker Award. It's not a Grammy, but it's close. And then what is really neat is we're also going to present you with a copy of our, what we call our coffee table book, but many members in the audience submitted some breathtaking photos, aerial photos of communication structures spanning different continents, spanning different weather climates, and we'd like, as a token of our appreciation, to present this to you as well. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Steve. Well, it's my pleasure now. Joining me on the stage is Nate's newly minted chairman. He was elected Sunday by the board of directors, Jim Tracy. Let's give Jim a round of applause. And the first award we have to give out is to a departing chair award, and this recipient did so much to advance the association's goals and strategic initiatives. It's going to take two of us to talk about it. And let me just say that Pat Sipo, her time as chairwoman dovetailed with my time essentially as executive director. And so this is extra special for me. Whether we were displaying at CTIA in Las Vegas, or we had a meeting in Orlando, Florida, or we had a fly-in and fly-out strategic planning session in Chicago, Pat would drop what she was doing, she'd book a flight and be there overnight. And you know, the thing that goes unsaid is the sheer time commitment that she provided, serving all of you selflessly. She never once asked for the limelight, nor did she would tell you she did not want the limelight. But this is a very appropriate venue for us to truly honor her, who ushered over the association at a time when we eclipsed our all-time membership record. We have advanced our relationships in Washington, D.C. that are stronger than they ever have before. And we have more best practices and safety resources than we ever had. And a lot of that is due to Pat's leadership. So before we call Pat up, Jim, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Todd. They say I got a big pair of high heels to fill. I agree. Pat, some people are born to greatness, others have it thrust upon them. Pat came to Nate at a time when the current chairman was required to step down. She did not seek the limelight, she did not want the limelight, she detests the limelight, and she's sitting there not wanting to come up here about right now. And I can tell you that because I know her well. It's a great misconception. Many people see Pat as someone who's meek and demure. And as a matter of fact, she's got a nickname. They call her the church lady. Let me tell you, I have witnessed firsthand from my mentor that there is in fact an iron fist under that velvet glove. And so for that, Pat, as our mentor, as my mentor, and as someone who's become Sarah and my friend, we want to first of all say thank you, and please come up and let's have a chat about your award.
My mentor is also here in this room, and I've always tried to follow him. He was a man of few words, and he never really had to say very much, Mr. Carlson. And I've always tried to follow his lead. Thank you very much. I am totally honored and I'm totally blown away. I never dreamt I'd ever do this. It's been a thrill. I hope I can continue to help in any way. Thank you.
Is that cool or what? When you walk out the door and you leave record attendance, record revenue, record membership, record trade shows, what am I gonna do? This is awful. Wow. But I can tell you that I've been on the Member Services Committee for a while, and we committed more than 10 years ago to introduce 3 R's. One was recruitment, one was retention, and those are of members, but the third one was recognition. And the fruition of that is what you see here today. One of the awards that we're about to give out is called the Distinguished Service Award. Now, I started to ponder what is distinguished. So I thought I'd look for a little bit of audience help. Can someone define what distinguished is for me? Got one hand. Give me one hand to start with. What is distinguished? Don, thanks for volunteering. What is distinguished? Gray hair is distinguished. Wow, okay, that'll work. I'm glad I'm not looking in the mirror because my beard changed. There's a lot of definitions for distinguished. What would you say if I told you that there was someone who had come to 20 of 21 Nate Unites? And the only reason that she missed number 21 is she stopped to have a baby. I mean, really? Is that really a good excuse? I think that that would qualify as distinguished service. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Seriously, wouldn't you? Not 20 or 21 years? That's what I'm talking about. That is distinguished service. And the level of this service goes a long ways toward measuring our associates in this industry who really we deserve to recognize. So, a while ago, we needed some help at the Tower Family Foundation, the very first auction that we had, and lo and behold, there's another person, happens to be the same 20 of 21 years, that shows up to lend a hand, and every time you come around, you go to a regional conference in Chicago, and lo and behold, the same person is doing the same work in the background all the time. And so what I'd like to do is say distinguished service is unfailing, unwavering commitment to an ideal of getting your people home safely. I'm going to call Diane Mueller up in a minute, and she is a picture of distinguished service. But I made her a promise. I promised her that as I gathered dirt to talk about her, that I would not say anything about Tijuana from San Diego. So I won't tell you about that. And I promised, because it's a Distinguished Service Award, I would not say anything about Russian vodka in a squirt gun. So I won't say anything about that. But I will tell you, I got your back. So I will tell you that the person coming up here is behind the scenes, done the work of a yeoman for a long time in a lot of ways. Please welcome, give a warm thank you to Diane Mueller. My microphone is on.
Wow. Thank you so much. It's been a great honor to be a part of this organization over the years, and it's just something to get an award just for doing something I enjoy and truly believe in. Over the years being part of the Membership Services Committee, I'm most proud of the growth that we have sustained and all the wonderful things we keep trying to do to get new members, because the larger membership we have, the larger voice we have, and bigger changes we can make in our industry. I've been very lucky to work for a company that has always supported me and encouraged me to continue and be involved with NATE as much as I can. I met wonderful people over the years at the NATE staff, different committee members, and especially want to thank Paula, because many years ago she was the first person I met, and by the end of the week in San Diego, she convinced me, I don't know if it was the Tijuana trip or not, but she convinced me to do more with the organization. So thank you, and let's just continue to keep working to get everyone home safe. Thank you.
The other part of the R, as I mentioned, was recognition. And recognition is difficult because the people, a lot of times, much like Diane, who truly deserve recognition, don't want it. And so it becomes especially problematic when they're tower guys, because tower guys really dig their heels in. And you might know what I mean, because they're kind of stubborn. As a matter of fact, I found out today that I was a tower guy. I was getting dressed and my wife said, no, you need to go put on the Ecru shirt. So I went in and I looked and checked all the labels, and I came out and I said, what's an Ecru? She said, it's off-white. Well, why didn't you say off-white? She goes, and wear it with the green suit. And I said, oh yeah, we got 2 suits now. Whoa. So, a tower guy is by his very nature someone who may be a little bit uncomfortable up here. Isn't that right, Kevin? Okay, just wanted to check that out. The award that we're going to give out is named after today's presenter. There are 2 people in this room who I can openly admit to being wildly afraid of. One is Bill Carlson. I told you this story a year ago. He looked down after us over the top of his glasses in his conference room, and he said to me 2 words which will be forever endeared into my soul. I will never forget. He said, "You're late." After I finished stopping quivering, we had a great chat. I came to know him. I consider him the grandfather of NATE, and he's going to come up here and talk a little bit and present an award to a gent by the name of Kevin Hayden. And many of you know Kevin because he was the first president of NATE, first chairman, I'm sorry, of NATE. Many of you know him because he, for many years, was the face of NATE, and he was the one who actually had the audacity to go to Washington, D.C. and think that he could possibly affect policy and get things done. Can-do guy. I know Kevin because my customer came to me one time and they called me and they said, "Tracy, we need you to put up a guide tower." And I said, "I don't know how." "There's no way." And they said, "Well, we still want you to do it." And the more I pushed them away, the more they said they want me to do it. So finally I got on the phone and I did the only prudent thing that a man could do. I called and I said, "Hayden, how do I put up a guide tower?" And he said, "I don't think you want to do that, Jim." So I was caught between Kevin and my customer, and I have to tell you that a competitor came out of his own care for my men and coached us and schooled us, and he didn't know me from Adam because I was a new NATE member. And he helped someone be better and bring their people home safe. And so the award that we've named, the Bill Carlson Lifetime Achievement Award, Lifetime Service Award, doesn't come from someone just merely standing on a stage. It comes from someone who's cared for your people for more than 15 years. And so with that, I would like you to ask you to help me welcome Bill Carlson, the man whom this award is named after, so he can make a presentation to a friend and another mentor. Please welcome Bill.
Well, Kevin Hayden. 19 years ago, I was 19 years old. 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 I was 19 years old 36 years in the business. President of Nate for 7 years, on the board for 13. You might say he's probably done that. I also am happy to say he's a very good friend of mine. He is a competitor, but a very good friend. And he has probably done more for Nate than any other two people you can come up with. At any rate, he certainly does deserve this award, and I'm happy to present it to him. I can find it.
Kevin Hayden, ladies and gentlemen.
I would like to thank the selection committee and the Nate Board of Directors for this award. I am honored and humbled. 21 years ago, Bill Carlson, Don Doty, Craig Snyder, and I sat in a motel room the night before Nate's first meeting. We discussed what needed to be accomplished the following day for the new association to have a chance to get started and survive. Bylaws would need to be created, committees would need to be formed, a board of directors would need to be elected. And the toughest one, a dues structure would need to be established. In my mind, I was along just for the ride. I fully intended to sit back in the corner and watch to see if it was even possible to form an association whose members were tower erectors. Imagine my complete surprise when Bill suggested that I should lead the meeting the next day, and how really stunned I was when Don and Craig quickly agreed. Those three people were taking one huge leap of faith, and I'm not real sure to this day that they realize it. Apprehension and fear were the feelings I mostly remember for the rest of the evening and the next day during the meeting. But looking back now, I'm honored that Bill Carlson had that kind of faith in me. I have the highest respect for Bill. He is a very dear friend, and I consider him a mentor, as I am sure many of you in the audience think of him the exact same way. It is apparent that since we are here today, the first meeting was a success. It definitely was not due to the person standing in front of the crowd. It was a success due to the small group of dedicated people in the room that wanted to improve the tower industry. This very same group became the first members of the National Association of Tower Erectors. I did not realize it that evening years ago, but Bill, Don, and Craig afforded me one of the best opportunities in my life. I am humbled when I realize that Nate has given much more to me than I have ever given to Nate. The enjoyment of working with all the dedicated and generous members of the National Association of Tower Erectors is a great experience, and I consider it a gift. It is evident that the dedication and generosity that was present 21 years ago is alive and well at Nate. The association has countless members giving freely of their time and resources, all volunteers, thus improving the association and the industry. This dedication and spirit is what makes the National Association of Tower Erectors a viable organization today and well into the future. Once again, thank you.
Boy, that's the Nate history book walking off the stage, and may we all live up to the example that they have set for us. Give them a round of applause. Not too long ago, the person who who thrust greatness upon Pat, the former chairman of Nate, Jim Coleman, became engaged with me not only as a board member but on the Tower Family Foundation. And much like the racehorse secretariat, I can tell you that his heart is about twice the size of a normal person. And so I have taken lessons from him, especially at the board meetings, of a calm voice, a raised finger that says a lot, and a steady hand at the tiller. And he's come today to help us present a very special award. Please give a warm Nate welcome to Mr. Jim Coleman.
Gonna be unusual, guys. Gonna read from a piece of paper. The National Association of Tower Erectors and the Tower Family Foundation would like to announce the official establishment of the Ernie Jones Memorial Civil Engineering Scholarship at the University of Evansville in Evansville, Indiana, honoring the legacy of Ernie Jones. Ernie passed away tragically in October of 2015 while inspecting a tower in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Ernie was a structural engineer who worked in the telecommunications industry for 30 years. During his career, Ernie served as a professional engineer and president of Consolidated Engineering, Inc., and the vice president of structural engineering at Electronics Research Incorporated. Ernie was also a participant and the member of the TR 14-7 Committee of the Telecommunications Industry, associated with Electronics Industry Associated since 1986, where he assisted with writing and obtaining approval of the ANSI TIA EIA 222 standard, which is the American National Standard of Steel Antenna Towers and Antenna Supporting Structures. On behalf of Nate and the Tower Family Foundation, and as a friend of Ernie, I'm honored to recognize the legacy of Ernie Jones. Through the foundation and establishment of this scholarship program at the University of Evansville College of Engineering. Ernie was a one-of-a-kind kind of guy. He was the most helpful structural engineer I've ever worked with. His efforts in the creation of the ANSI TIA 1019A structural standard for gem poles and structural modifications of antenna towers and antenna structures has saved countless lives in our industry. The Ernie Jones Memorial Civil Engineering Scholarship will be a $2,500 scholarship awarded annually to a junior or senior level civil engineering student at the University of Evansville College of Engineering. And at this time, I'd like to introduce to all of you Kathy Jones, Ernie's widow, and Dr. James Allen, Associate Professor of Civil Engineering at the University of Evansville, for the formal presentation of this.
Before Jim makes his presentation, I would like to read this to you. The National Association of Tower Rectors and the Tower Industry Family Support Charitable Foundation honors Ernest Ernie Raymond Jones. Ernie Jones Memorial Civil Engineering Scholarship in recognition of Ernie's outstanding service, contributions, and dedication to the tower industry. A scholarship will be awarded to an outstanding student from the Civil Engineering program at the University of Evansville's College of Engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, Kathy Jones.
Thank you. Some men leave their mark on the world by the way they live and the difference they make in the lives they touch. Ernie Jones had a passion for hard work and making things better, whether it was a barbed wire fence, a 2-year-old thoroughbred colt, or a tall tower. He always brought a sense of calmness to whatever problem he was trying to solve. He was a brilliant man, a humble man, an honest man, and the most wonderful husband. We shared many happy trails together, but to everything there's a season and time to every purpose under the heavens. It is my hope that whoever is fortunate enough to earn the Ernie Jones Engineer Scholarship shares Ernie's lust to always give it its best. Lastly, Consolidated Engineering is now a division of Hodge Engineering. Keith Barnett and Dave Davies are now a part of Ray Hodge's team, and I wish them the best of luck. I searched for an engineering company with integrity, professionalism, and forward thinking. These guys' goal is to carry on Ernie Jones' legacy. Thank you.
Dr. Allen.
Good afternoon. I'm Jim Allen, an Associate Professor of Civil Engineering at the University of Evansville in Evansville, Indiana. On behalf of the Civil Engineering faculty and the College of Engineering and Computer Science, I wish to extend our gratitude to the National Association of Tower Rectors, the Tower Family Foundation, and Ernie Jones's family for establishing the Ernie Jones Memorial Civil Engineering Scholarship in honor of Ernie's outstanding service, contribution, and dedication to the tower industry. Over its more than 150-year history, the University of Evansville has strived to create a college campus that features professional degree programs such as our engineering and nursing schools, while trying to remain grounded in the liberal arts. UE's stated core purpose is to provide students with a life-transforming education experience that prepares them to engage the world as informed, ethical, and productive citizens. The civil engineering program at UE is accredited by the Engineering Accreditation Commission, NABED. It's a small undergraduate program consisting of about 70 students. We are blessed to have tremendously hardworking students at our university who enjoy competing at the national level. Historically, our students have consistently exceeded the national passing rate in the Fundamentals of Engineering exam, which all of our students are required to take prior to graduation. We've been recognized by other national organizations in recent years as well. In 2013, civil engineering students won the National Innovation Award for Concord Canoe for designing and constructing a unique dimpled canoe. In 2014, a student team won an NCEES National Design Project Award for their work in designing a new dam to replace a breached dam in Fairfield, Illinois for more than 100 years. And then last year, one of our senior civil engineering students won first place in the 2015 ASCE Daniel W. Mead Ethics National Paper Competition. And today, we're humbled to add the Ernie Jones Memorial Scholarship to our list of blessings. Several years ago, the Civil Engineering Department at UE offered a master's degree in graduate level courses in geotechnical engineering and structural analysis. Ernie Jones completed several of these courses to further his knowledge in these areas. While I did not have the pleasure of knowing Ernie personally, but after hearing and reading stories about his life and those that were close to him, the image I've gathered is that of an intelligent, soft-spoken man with a venerable work ethic who was always willing to assist others. He was described as being a hands-on person, a gifted structural engineer, and a national advocate for safety guidelines within the tower industry. Simply put, he made a difference to the industry and people that surrounded and looked up to him. To honor these traits, the faculty of the Civil Engineering Department at UE have established scholarship criteria to reflect Ernie's legacy. Junior and senior level civil engineering students are evaluated on the basis of their academic performance in structural engineering courses, summer internship work experience in structures or construction, overall grade point average, and a diligence and perseverance in completing assignments. The scholarship recipient must demonstrate attention to detail as exemplified by timely and quality submissions for all design projects and high ethical standards and compliance with the University Honor Code. This year's winner of the 2016 Ernie Jones Memorial Civil Engineering Scholarship is Forrest Plumley. He's a junior civil engineering student from Columbus, Indiana. Forrest will be recognized tomorrow night at our annual Engineers Week banquet in Evansville, at which time we'll make the award. Thank you for allowing the University of Evansville to be part of the ceremony to honor Ernie Jones and his many contributions to structural engineering and the tower industry. Through this scholarship, we hope to help his legacy to live on. Thank you very much.
I'm going to say goodbye and I'm going to turn this over to Todd, but before I do, I have a couple of quick messages. Number one, Nate may not be perfect yet, but we're striving to be perfect. And number two, when I witnessed what happened this lunch hour, I'm really, really proud to be a member of Nate, simply because we take care of our own and we're part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Everybody reach around to a Nate member and give him a pat on the back and let him know you're there for him. Thank you very much.
Well, that concludes the 2016 Nate Unite Awards Luncheon. Thank you so much for joining us today. A couple of quick announcements. The next round of sessions begin at 1:30 p.m. promptly in the various session rooms. The exhibit hall opens today at 3, and that will be buzzing more than ever before. This was a record year for exhibitors for the association, so make sure to visit all the vendors on the floor. And then finally, the Nate Unite 2016 reception begins tonight. That reception is sponsored by GME Supply, so make sure you thank them. And begins right here in this room at 6 p.m. Have a wonderful day.